searching the standard in terms of the limitation of years in comparison to other jurisdictions. And I was just highlighting that in addition to that, the recommendation also raises another important issue that is placed before us, which is whether within those years, whether it is 2 or 3 or 1, within those years, any additional information that is requested ought to be requested explicitly relating to a period within which the public official would have held office, meaning you can't go back to 30 years ago. And that it also should be connected to an investigation for breaches of the Act or allegations of corruption. So that is something that the committee would want some guidance on, in addition to the limitation of years.
G, would you take the 2 other areas that you have?
Right, because in relation
So we can
to
finish with you in that sense,
because
and then go to deal with the other deferrals.
right, because and even the final matter, we said we'd only deal with it after we have dealt with the deferred matters.
Yes.
Right. So we wait on SG and then
Yeah,
we go
and then
back.
we go back to
So,
page 1.
yes, no, so, no, us. So we have our own list of
Yes, I
some
know.
matters.
So
Okay.
just tell
So
us which.
these are all coming from recommendations from the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
So they made some recommendations, and we were asked to look at them and give you some input. You want to start?
So some of these we identified from the June 1, 2023 meeting of the committee. One recommendation, the development of sentencing guidelines for all corruption and bribery offenses commensurate with the gravity of the offense. The development of sentencing guidelines is the remit of the sentencing committee, but the judiciary. There's a committee that does that, so that would not be for the committee to deal with. B, the imposition of term bans from office and forfeiture of pensions in the case of public officers who are found guilty of an act of corruption or breach of fiduciary duties, prescribed good governance and integrity legislation and standards. The broad response from us is that that recommendation is in some ways a bit too opaque for us to endorse it. In relation to term bans, for example, those matters can be dealt with in ordinary legislation. Certainly in relation to those public officials and parliamentarians whose offices are regulated by the Constitution, and the Constitution sets up bases, for example, for parliamentarians to be removed from office, for judges to be removed from office, etc. So that could not be done through ordinary means. And as well, other legislation which either establishes statutory bodies or governs the public service generally have particular rules that govern those types of things. And we would say that any amendments there would need necessarily to be considered sort of on a sort of case by case basis. In relation to pension.
In relation to forfeiture of pensions, it's also not something we can support. So pensions are regulated by law, and you will see that in starting with the Constitution, and then you have ordinary law that deal with how pension is allocated, given, and how it can be withheld. And usually it's very circumscribed in how pension can be withheld, and this does not fall under those provisions where pension is withheld. So normally it is for repayment of debt due to the government, and almost all of the laws have this, to the Jamaica Civil Service Mutual Thrift Society Limited, or the payment of court-ordered maintenance. Those are the situations generally in which pension can be withheld. And this is for applicable for public servants, for the judiciary who have their separate laws, and even in the Retiring Legislative Allowance Act, the retiring the act that applies to parliamentarians, and also the acts that apply even to councillors and mayors also. The provisions are usually pretty standard. It would not apply in this situation. It was just their recommendation.
Right. I think the basis was that as part of penalties, as part of sanctions. But of course, one difficulty with the recommendation is that in instances where somebody is convicted, for example, of defrauding the treasurer or something of the sort, the Corruption Prevention Act or the relevant laws, certainly the Corruption Prevention Act, it allows the court to impose a fine and or a term of imprisonment. But the provision for a fine is not limited. All right. So the Supreme Court will have full discretion to determine what the proportionate fine is, having regard to the circumstances of the case. So presumably, it would be the court would be in a position to ensure that the wrongdoing is matched by an appropriate sanction. So there may be an argument that taking somebody's entire pension away might be wholly disproportionate to the particular crime that they've committed, which was one concern that we had. And the Corruption Prevention Act also has provisions in there for forfeiture of property from the convicted, from the proceeds of whatever was taken away. So it's not, it's not clear to us that further amendments would solve the mischief that they seek to respond to. That's A, that's B, that's C. We're at C. C is right. In addition, Part C is, in addition to fines, request the offender to repay sums equivalent to the value of gratification, bribe received, or economic loss suffered, which I've just addressed. Court has that sort of discretion. We also have those provisions in criminal justice administration.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for yet another, I hear a ringing on my mic. Yeah, for yet another Wednesday evening, right here on Caribbean Radio and on Portland Spice TV. Yeah, man. Blessings and welcome. We're happy to have you. This evening, we're going to be having a special guest we did promise yesterday. We're going to be joined by MP and Shadow Minister of Commerce, Trade, and Global Logistics. MP Anthony Hilton is going to be joining us this evening as we discuss another of the plank of the plan from the opposition, something that they want to do when they form government. We constantly talk about if you deny this permission. So we always talk about growth of the economy and how we expect the Jamaican economy to be at a place where the country benefits and the people of Jamaica will feel economic growth. So I have heard many narratives all the time saying that the opposition have no ideas or no plans. And I said to myself, what kind of rubbish is this? What I'm talking about? Because when we look at the whole thing, the amount of plans that we have, and ready plans to roll out, I've decided that we must get to a place where all and sundry start understanding where we're going, what is the plan, where we plan to take the country, and how we plan to get there. So that's trade and global logistics. And everybody know that Tony Hilton is the logistics man. Nobody knows logistics like Anthony. And therefore, we see where the government a couple months ago opened what they call Raintree, a global logistics thing. And therefore, we looked at it and we realized that it is something from what the People's National Party had planned to do, and that they have left it for 9 years, nothing happening. And therefore, we believe that it's a missed opportunity. We're also looking at the culture and the creative industry. DJ Israel, big up yourself. The culture and the creative industry is one of the areas that Jamaica have a great advantage. But we have not stepped up and organized that industry in the way we should, so that we could earn what we can from it. And that is also another plank that the opposition is looking at. The opposition is also looking seriously at agriculture. And you heard the opposition leader in his budget presentation saying that the plan is to cut the food importation bill by 20%, 25% in its first year in office. And if you can do that, then you're on your way to really growing Jamaica. Really on your way to grow the country. So that's another one. Manufacturing is also a big one that the opposition going to be taking forward to the people. Yeah, we're live on TikTok. So manufacturing going to be a big one that the opposition will take to the people to grow the economy. So we're going to open up all of those, and we are going to invite, we are going to be inviting the necessary guests that will be able to give us all the information that we need. And what we want to do is also set it away that you, the viewer and the listener out there, will have an opportunity to talk to my guests. Yeah? So you can get the fullness of everything that is being planned to grow the Jamaican economy. And we talk about the debates. I see something in the chat room here. Ibrahim Choema talk about effect inspiration reach the mind and soul of our politician to look deep within themselves and consider why they are in government, then to make decisive turnaround and govern according to what's right in good conscience. DJ Israel, that's the right argument, my brother. That's the right argument. You know, we have to be people-centric. People-centric. That's where we have to take it. If our leaders are serious about people, that's the place. And I believe that we have a set of leaders in the People's National Party who are ready to take the country to a higher place and to govern with integrity and transparency. And you see, if we as a people miss this opportunity, sorry, if we as a people miss this opportunity, you know, to hold these people we have here accountable for whatever wrongs they have done, it is going to be an indictment on us as a people, not to ensure that we set an example now. Yeah? Set an example now. See the 3 councillors yesterday? You can't file. Law say you have a file. And you're taking up leadership in the country, swearing to uphold and defend the constitution of your country. That is not no joke matter. It's not a joke matter. Sister Christine, Brother Lee Croft, good evening and welcome everybody. Happy to have you. So, we as a people, if we talk about accountability, it comes down to us to hold whomever we should hold accountable. It is up to us to demand transparency. So it's going on. And it is up to us to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge that people not just take with a fool. People not just tell you what them feel like. And we just take it and say, yeah, man, I eat that. No. We must question the things that ought to be questioned. Question them. Because is we pay a politician, you know? Politician not pay we. And right now, 106 of them are run up on the 106? 126. 63 by each side now. There's 126 of them with their supporters, managers, and all kind of support staff running around and asking us to give them a work. Understand that is a work them up on our beg, you know. And this is the time when we must ask the question, Brother Bailey. And I saw on TikTok where people are saying to me, oh, you mean them for debate? Them not for debate because the lady at work. I live in East Portland. And I am saying to anybody who said the lady at work, show me the work. Call me. We have an open phone line here. 876 804 7072. Or Brother Geary on Caribbean Radio have a phone line 305 654 7944. Because I am going to say it on the radio this evening and on the television that this lady is doing nothing extraordinary or special around here. No, I might be wrong. So I am saying to anybody who see the special work that has been done by the MP in East Portland, call me and tell me. And if she's doing special work, are you saying you must get 5 more years without telling me what you're going to do for the 5 there? No, I see a little man on a show last night saying that anybody vote against Miss Vaz ungrateful. Now, Blazer, with all due respect, sir, I see it on TikTok this morning, and the host asked you if he can post it. I would love for you to call me Brother Blazer and tell me of the good work of the MP of East Portland. But let me hurry up and say to you that when politicians fix road, give people water and light, those are the basic amenities that a country must provide for its citizens. There are some others that the country must provide: education for its children, health care for its people. Those are not gifts. Those are not from the MP's sole initiative. You hear me say? Road, light, and water are not gifts. So when an MP tell me say fix 4 road or 5 road, please, that ain't nothing. You don't get no marks for that. Because government allocate funds to do that in every constituency. Now there is political victimization where some administration delay for certain constituency own. Where are the employment being created for the people? Sustainable employment. Where are the other opportunities being created? Show me them. I don't want nobody can tell me about who fix road, because those are basic amenities. Who never fixed the road before, that's why them not did it. Because if you can't do the least, get the least done for your people, then you're not worth even talking about. I believe the process of good governance have gone astray. Especially there is an erosion of transparency and independence and accountability. Transparency, independence, and accountability. So when I see people when I live at East Portland, I praise and I give kudos. I say to you, come to East Portland or call me, because right now I am broadcasting live from Port Antonio. Me born ya, live ya, love ya, nah, left ya. Kind of Colin Belly I talk to. Yeah? So, even when we look at West Portland, 18 years of no substance. No substance. Portland would have the biggest brain drain in Jamaica, because there are no jobs here for the people. And you try to tell me, I try to impress me with a shower man you early. Shower man. Shower man. Shower man. Oh?
What go on down there?
Nothing too tough now go on down there. Me hear say they must start the urban center, but me not see it yet.
Yeah, man, that's why I call the car urban center kick off, brother. You know, down there, you know, go look.
No, them not invite me. Them hide them thing there from me.
Yeah, that's why you know, see, man, if you go look, you will see, man, foundational line out down there, no. Me that town and me can know you down there, you know.
But shower man, we just mention it, you know. So them say they must start the urban center. Them are at the third time now, them have function down there before them start. But here what me I said to you, shower man, that urban center is not what Portland needs right now. And a lot of people afraid to say it, but I am confident that the urban center will not bring no 3,000 jobs. Me, I said that on record. That urban center is only going to remove the jobs from uptown, carry them downtown, or if you want to call it so uptown, move jobs from uptown, come downtown, or downtown, come uptown. They are going to move. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
What about people don't have a job right now, don't it?
Not at all. That's true. A lot of people don't
So
have a job.
when the urban center build and done, enough people now get employed, brother.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because what they say about the urban center is that they are going to move the government agencies that are already in the town of Port Antonio to the urban center. So you are move down NHT. That now create no job because NHT they already and employ all of the people but them want is just the office space are going to change. They will carry NIS down there. That they are ready. All of the job them for NIS they are ready. No new job now going to create. They will move the parish council go down there. The parish council they are ready. And in fact, the parish council have plans. There are plans in the parish council where them they go build them own building. The parish council have lands on West Street where the plan draw already. Then they'll put up them own building there so where them now have to go pay rent. Now the government is saying to the parish council, you must go to the urban center and pay rent to NCB and Barita. What the hell can go so? You are telling me.
You have Kentucky down there and Burger and them things in Portland. Eh?
We have Kentucky already.
Burger King?
No, we don't have no Burger King.
So that not on this.
Then are them the job they are talking about? Minimum wage job. Minimum wage job.
I still job is somebody in play, brother.
But shower man, I am saying what Port Antonio need is the East Harbor development. We have
for the tourist ship coming.
Yes, we're bringing the cruise ship. That will bring new money to Port Antonio. After that, now, then you can go build urban center if you want. Because when I said to you, know, shower man, the people them they are broke and pauperizing, we don't have no money. Bashko come down here and set up and have to left, you know. Because we don't have no money. Namas come down here and set up restaurant and had to leave because we don't have no money. So it's not about shop. This government is investing in consumption. We need investment in production.
But Shaka.
Yeah.
I thought you had the only that to see down there. Why never did invest down there? Them 30 odd years.
So because investment never go on for 30 odd years, you must wait for 30 odd more years. Are the foolishness?
No, me ask you. I just told you know. Thing they did. So for the 30 odd years, who did it? Why never did no investment?
Investments were done. Not enough. Not the East Harbor that I would want. But there was a West Harbor investment where over 27 million US dollars were spent. Yeah? So, but when I said to you, shower man, what is gone is gone. And as I said a while ago, the people who are here now are here because when the people when they did it before never do enough. And that's why they are there. But I'm saying,
you have to start from scratch, brother. So when they start with the urban center, then they start from something else.
The urban center now will deal with the kind of economic drive we want, brother. I'm going to take our next call, though, yeah?
All right.
804-7072. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Colin, good evening.
Yes, Marsh.
What people like Showerman must learn. You see, a changed world is different from a changing world.
Yeah.
You see, the things that you see 10, 15 years ago, right? It's not the same thing today. So you don't look at somebody and say, why when you were there, you never do it.
Rubbish
It's a
that, man.
different time now, right? And people brain advance, right? Understand, you have to understand why the thing could happen some time ago, but a different time now. Right, and what you point out to him a while ago, if you had done, you can't see it, you know. You see what the government is running around and say unemployment is at its lowest level now. You have some people coming like it better than our work, you know.
Because a lot of people
when you have a
working
housing trust out so much $1 million, and you take up a man and pay him 16,000, let's say 20,000 a week. In can't pay for one of them house there, you know.
Madness, man.
It can't. You need meaningful job. You cannot give people slavery salary and then you think you do anything. You're not doing anything to them. You're working out for nothing. It's like a sweatshop. You send them to exercise.
Hold on, Marshy. Hold on there. 305-654-7944. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello, good evening. Yeah, Marshy. Marshy. Marsh? Marsh, welcome back, man. Not hearing Marsh at all. Sorry about that. But you see, my people, what I try to say to them is that where Portland is right now, we have a flat economy. We don't have nothing to go on where we can say a data go carry. This is the mainstay of the Portland economy. We don't have that. And that's why, hello, caller.
Sorry, Colin?
Yes, good evening.
Evening. I'm going to say this real quick, right?
Yeah.
The analogy we just gave, right?
Yeah.
Like, or what Showman was saying about, they may have it for 30 years and nothing never take place or whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, then fine. So you're with someone, right?
Yes.
And you leave the person and you go with someone else. And then after a while now, you say, well, you know, I'm more or less the same thing. And then the person you're with now going cuss you out now and say, well, look at what the person was doing before you. They would have for how much years and what you're complaining about me for. No. That's not how it is. And what Mr. Marsh just said makes absolute sense.
Yes.
How the PNP used to be, even say back in the day, or even JLP, you could even say argue. Things change, people come and go and whatnot. So let us talk about, whenever they take place 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Rubbish argument, man. Rubbish
it's a rubbish argument.
Yeah, man.
But you know, the really sad part about it, Mr. Bell, is that you have educated people as well. I have a friend who's a teacher, math brain, you know. And the man over the weekend said to me that, well, guess what? The Prime Minister supposed to aspire to be rich. You can't expect him to be in the same company as poor people and so forth. Mr. Bell, this election is causing me to realize, you know, there's some people I might have got cut off, you know. But anyway,
I want to tell you something about that analogy, that the Prime Minister have to be rich. The Prime Minister have to be somebody who is willing to serve his country. And that's why PJ Patterson put a thing in place that when you leave as Prime Minister, you get the same salary for your pension, you know.
And you know what? You see, when people were making certain pronouncements about PG and all of that stuff,
they don't.
When I do my own history and so forth, you know, you realize, so you see, a lot of times we hear certain things, we don't investigate it, and we believe it to be true. And that's the problem with a lot of Jamaican people. We have something called a smartphone in front of our hand.
Mr.
Bell, even sometimes when you're talking, or listen to Jeffrey, whomever, and some things were like, I didn't know that. Let me just check and just see.
Yeah, man, right
just
away.
To make sure.
Right away, you check
right
it.
Away.
Yes,
right
man.
away. Because you see sometimes, enough time, Mr. Bell, things pop up on my phone and I watch it and I say, boy, this looks interesting. And when I go on Google and say, wait there, absolute garbage. This is somebody just trying to develop views or whatever that.
Yeah.
So, you understand what I'm saying? So your people need to understand. Just, you know, research for yourself. Don't not take your word for it. Not take your word for it and so forth. Because, I mean, so far, whatever you say is true, You never lead anybody down the road. But again, because I don't know it, I'm going to search for this. But then again, Mr. Bell, I grew up not using internet as a child and something. So you have to go and look for books and research yourself. So that is still within me to do a bit of research.
No, I grew up on the library too. So right now this make research so easy. But thanks for the call.
All right, best of yourself, Mr. Bell.
Yeah, man, cool. You see, we have to understand people. We have to understand that you can't have money and squander it. And this government have been squandering the money of Jamaica. And we can't allow them to continue to squander the money, making bad decisions. When the government take up $11.4 billion and give it to a 20,000, that was a bad move by the government of Jamaica. Bad move by the government. We have Anthony Hilton that we want to bring in to talk to about the logistics in Jamaica. He's the shadow minister. Oh Lord, my bad. I did something very bad. I cut off Tony a while ago, you know. Let me just get back Anthony Hilton on the line. Cut him off a while ago. Yeah, man. When you take up $11.4 billion and give everybody 20,000, what is the benefit of that? That is the government majoring in consumption and minoring in production. Hold on for me, MP Hilton. Hold a sec for me. Let me just get Sir Hilton on the line. Just call us, just give me a break. Let me get the guests on, have a discussion with the guests, and then hold on. Hello, caller.
Hello, Colin, good evening.
No, let me talk back to you in a little while. I have Anthony Hilton holding and I have to talk to him and then we can talk. All right?
No problem, my brother.
Thank you
No
very
problem.
much. Thank you very much. So, the calls are coming in rapidly, but we want to talk to the guests before we take any more calls. And we need to, we will sort this phone system here, so we have a different line to get the guests on, different from the line that we take the calls on. All right, so we have Member of Parliament, Parliamentarian Anthony Hilton, Shadow Minister of Global Trade and Logistics. Sir Hilton, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Shaka. Good evening to your listeners.
There is a narrative in Jamaica. Well, there's a narrative being spread by the government and members of the Jamaica Labour Party. They are saying that the PNP does not have any plans for Jamaica. And therefore, all we are campaigning on is the bad governance and corruption by this administration. But I know for a fact that from 2013, you have been doing the work to make Jamaica a logistics hub. Tell us about that and where that would put Jamaica's economy amongst the big players in the world. Talk to us.
Well, first of all, I would want to say to your listeners not to pay too much attention to what the Labourites have to say when it comes to our plans to rescue the economy and to rescue their lives, to improve their lives once we come to power. The fact is that we have announced and have been discussing a range of plans from education to housing to agriculture to a number of specific issues, particularly with NHT announcing some fantastic plans that would benefit young persons, working poor, and small businesses. So
Yes.
all you have to do is just stay tuned and make sure you're not listening to the wrong station and the wrong programs.
Right.
Keep your eyes and ears open, and you'll see. What they're trying to do, of course, is to ensure that and want us to goad us into a situation where we put out our manifesto early so they can steal some of the ideas.
They can get something to copy.
Yes, they can copy some of our ideas. Not, I wouldn't say copy, steal them.
Steal.
Because you steal people's idea when you take something that has not been given to you or not been approved.
You have not gotten the permission.
Right, you've not been given the permission. So it's clear what their strategy is. We have, and we continue to talk around a core set of issues, one of them being the logistic hub.
Yes.
And as you said, from as far back as 2012, 2013, I have been articulating this logistic hub strategy. It is true that initially there was a lot of confusion, some of it spread by the labor rights themselves, trying to talk it down because they were fearful that the project and the concept would take hold. Well, what has happened since is that we've had the COVID pandemic, which demonstrated to the Jamaican people the wisdom of having that logistic hub, which was not a particular place, but a set of infrastructure and development in the country, particularly around ports, around airports, and around transportation, around warehousing, and a lot of these, what we call an ecosystem, meaning the things that come together to work. It's like you're having a vehicle. It's all the moving parts in the vehicle, engine and the drive shaft and all of that makes the vehicle run efficiently. Similarly with a logistic hub, it's around port, it's around airport, seaport, it's around advanced road infrastructure. And those advanced road infrastructure were not started by the labor right. Those were started under PJ Patterson to open up the airways and open up Jamaica.
Yes.
So that we can, that's what we have is to be connected, one parish to the next. That is, we're able to move from Westmoreland to Portland and from the north to the south, east to west, and in between.
The first highway in Jamaica was built by PJ Patterson. Is that correct?
Could you repeat?
The first highway in Jamaica was built by PJ Patterson.
Absolutely. That is named the PJ Patterson Highway. That is the east-west, the east-west highway from Kingston that went into from Kingston over into
Clarendon.
Clarendon and so forth. That opened up all of that area along the St. Catherine Plains. Right? And then we had the North-South Highway and the Port of Simpson Miller, which was started by PJ but completed by Port of Simpson Miller.
Yes, yes.
Right? And so those still today form and the North-South Highway. The PJ Patterson built the North-South Highway that ran from, I think we started in Montego Bay and ended up in Portland.
Oh, you mean the North Coast Highway?
The North Coast Highway.
Right.
North Coast. So those are some of the key highways that began to address and logistics really speaks to the efficient movement of goods, people, data, and money.
Yes.
And if you move, these are the key things that make an economy work. And if you have a most efficient way to deal with it, what it does is reduce the cost of production, reduce the cost of doing business, and the cost of distribution of goods and services.
Sir Hilton, we have had this discussion before, but we want to ensure that people understand what we're talking about. And when people hear about Logistics Hub, this is one of the ideas that you are the father of. The Prime Minister admits it. You have done a lot of work in 2013. And earlier this year, we saw the government opening, what them call it, re-entry.
Yes, in Ferry.
But
Joining Knight and
why
Cooper.
is it for 9 years nothing was done as it relates to developing Jamaica into a logistics hub?
Well, first of all, they just didn't understand the concept. They just didn't get it. They didn't understand how critical it is to the economy, both socially and economically. They just didn't get it. After many incidents, not the least of which was the latest with the Trump tariff, they're beginning to see that Jamaica is an island, can't stand by itself. It has to be connected to the rest of the world and the rest of the global economy. And you'd have to do that by ships and or planes,
Right.
or airplanes. You have to do it by air or sea,
Here
or
or
both.
sea.
Right?
And we
Jamaica
have
connected.
Jamaica have both very close together.
Yeah, indeed. And then what? Once you build that logistics like a highway, once you build that logistics highway, and you know we're doing it digital as well. The things are moving digitally, like data, information, money moves digitally. But once you build that digital highway, then you have to move goods, people, and services. That's what is called a supply chain. The supply chain moves along the highway.
Yes.
And the build out of the highway infrastructure in strategic ways. That's what is called logistics and logistics infrastructure.
What would the earnings from a logistics hub be like for Jamaica? What?
It will transform it. It transform the economy. Billions of dollars. Right now, the global trade, the amount of money in global trade is $27 trillion.
Annually.
27 for global trade. The global trade generates $27 trillion annually.
Right.
If Jamaica were to even get a percentage of that,
Jesus.
that's hundreds of
billions of US dollars. No,
yes.
Sir Hilton, without giving too much, because somebody in the chat room is saying to us that be careful because these people are just sitting back trying to get something to put in their manifesto. But for me, when it comes to logistics, they can't take this.
Yeah, they can't steal that one. They have to admit that they were not the father of it.
But what shipping?
It's a jacket they would be wearing. Yeah.
What shipping does in a large way for a country?
Shipping is the lifeblood of a country. That's how it moves goods. That's the most cost-effective way to move both export and import. Right? So that which we produce, and we don't produce everything because we have to import certain things, even in manufacturing and other sectors. We have to import certain critical inputs of both goods and services, right? Into the economy.
Yes.
So Jamaica as an island must be connected to the world. Right?
And where we are located makes us prime place for where we are located on the map.
Yeah.
Makes us prime place for logistics.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a God-given asset that no economy, no leader, no Russia, America, nobody can change. It is our geography. Our geography situates us, locates us right in the middle of the Americas, both North and South America. And with the expansion of the Panama Canal, we have access to Asia, and we have always had the access to Europe and to Africa. That's where the slave trade began. And what we are attempting to do is to reverse the slave trade. So rather than trafficking or trading in humans, in slaves, we intend to trade in goods and services. Right? So the highways, those international routes have been long established. And Jamaica, the other little known fact is that the pirates taught us all of that and taught us the importance of Jamaica's location. That is why the pirates came and hung out at Port Royal. They came because the trading routes, when when all of the conquistadors and the so-called founders, Christopher Columbus and others, were so-called discovering the Americas. That was to plunder the Americas with gold and spices and other goods to take to Europe.
Yes.
The pirates recognized that Kingston and Port Royal in particular occupy a strategic place on the highway, on the maritime highway. So they could ambush the ships from Port Royal and capture the goods
and come back
and sell it themselves.
Yes.
So that's why Port Royal was one of the richest cities in the Americas in that period.
Mm-hmm.
And the routes to Europe and to Africa remain where they were. Those were never changed. We simply for a long while turn our back on the maritime, Jamaica's maritime status, and start to focus more on banana and sugar and these things. Once these things, and still they needed the shipping of these products from aluminum to banana, sugar, rum, for us to trade and to earn foreign exchange.
So we missed the peripheral boat then?
Absolutely. What we're saying is, now that the world, trading in the world through globalization has become so dominant, not even President Trump can reverse that with his trade policy, which seeks to put up blockages against trade. He can't reverse it. He cannot reverse that.
But Sir Hilton, had we built out that logistics hub and Jamaica was playing its role right now, Trump tariffs would not be so effective.
Absolutely, and this is where all the critics and all who were talking about things for which they had no idea, they're now recognizing, and this is why they're all apologetic, and you see the government trying to act as if it was the originator of the logistic hub idea, when it simply wasn't. And they had to be confronted and said, no, you were not.
Kirk
in the chat room ahead and implemented it, with Jamaica will be sitting pretty right now, I can assure you.
Exactly. Kirk in the chat room is saying that the logistics hub is Mike Henry. Mike Henry is the author. No, Kirk. Mike Henry spoke about Vernon Field as a hub for airplane.
But first of all, that was not original with Mike Henry. The Patterson as part of its Millennium Program.
Yeah.
Identify Vernon Field as a key area for development.
Yes.
What Mike said, which Mike agreed with what I said, and I agree that Vernon Field must be a part of the total logistics operation, because as I said, it is both the movement by air
and sea. And Vernon Field is fit for cargo.
And ground, rail and trucks and other efficient movements.
Yeah.
And there's a lot we have to learn in logistics, because one of the things that makes Europe and America and in Asia the first world countries they have is their logistics infrastructure. The efficient manner in which they move people, the efficient manner in which they move goods, and the efficient manner in which they move data on the digital highway.
Yes.
And in the digital economy. So Mike Henry simply agreed with us and was on that side, and the JLP side was the bravest one to articulate it. And of course, they isolated him, think he was a madman.
Because the truth is, Mike Henry is the only labor right now really articulate a solid vision for anything at all,
Yeah. I mean, Mike spoke very clearly, and Mike had the experience of living in Singapore, which has really fine-tuned this whole logistic hub concept, because Singapore occupy one of the four what we call nodes in the logistics infrastructure, global trading infrastructure.
Yes.
Singapore is one of the four, and we are saying Jamaica can be one of the existing three, and Jamaica can be the fourth.
Oh, so
should be the fourth.
There's three
because
existing
there's none in the America.
So you're saying that there are three existing logistics hubs in the world.
Correct.
Name them for me. Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
One is in Europe, which is around the Antwerp, Rotterdam, Antwerp and Rotterdam area.
Yes.
And the other one is in Dubai, in the Middle East.
So, and then we want Jamaica to be the fourth.
The fourth node.
So
right?
listeners and viewers, just look at it simple. Singapore, doing very well. Dubai,
absolutely.
Ask no question. Rotterdam, please.
Europe. Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
And
they're the key to Europe's success.
Look at their economy. But let's look at a place near to us, and we mentioned Panama. Panama is doing very well, Sir Hilton, because of the Panama Canal to do with basically maritime.
Maritime logistics and the supply chain, yeah. Panama is doing very well. And the fact is, Panama cannot really serve as a hub because Panama is designed as a transit state.
Yeah.
But if you go to Panama today, you'll see how Panama is transformed by logistics.
Yes. I went down there to have a look.
Yeah, and the movement of goods and services through the Panama Canal.
There you go.
So it doesn't take a stretch of imagination. In fact, if Jamaica does not build a hub or make great advances in both its maritime and aviation infrastructure, it just makes it that much more vulnerable to trade changes and to disruption in the global supply chain, which today are many, including Trump's tariff, including climate, hurricane, including geopolitical events, war. All of these things are risks that Jamaica faces as an island economy. We are not a continental economy like Europe, where if something happens in Jamaica, you just drive across a border.
Yeah, we can't drive go nowhere.
Country. Right?
We can't drive go nowhere.
And the other point I'll make is that the rest of CARICOM needs Jamaica to develop the hub so that they can access international flows of goods and services much more effectively to Jamaica.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So
the CARICOM single market, as we have envisioned it and as we implemented it, the PNP administration led by myself and led by PJ Patterson, instructing me as foreign minister. We designed, we negotiated a single market and economy. And that single market and economy will not work as efficiently as it needs to work to benefit the Caribbean countries unless Jamaica builds this logistic hub, which will then underpin and support the efficient transport of goods and services to the rest of not only the region, the Latin American region, but to the CARICOM region.
Well, Sir Hilton, time is running out. We are looking for an election within another 90 days. How fast will you be able to move on this logistics hub under PNP administration?
Well, look, from day one, we have been doing the work. As you said, from 2013, we have fine-tuned it. A lot of the details we have not made available, but we have made the broad outlines available. For example, we have said that we need, and we have in place the plans and the strategies to build an industrial policy and strategy, meaning we will determine what are the key industries that we will invest in. We will utilize the special economic zone and the benefits in there to incentivize investment both in the manufacturing sector and in the agricultural sector and importantly in the creative industry sector. These special economic zones will incentivize those things, attracting manufacturing for sports and in the creative sector, right? To host performances. So we set the special economic zone, we'll revise it and update it. And we'll link that both to the Port of Kingston and to the wider domestic market to ensure that Jamaica's economy is then dynamized and be transformed and to make that dynamic business. So we have those plans and we're ready to do that, implement from day one. We have our teams, we have our task forces. And from day one, we are ready to run.
So you are saying that the plans are ready, we're shovel ready to go, as soon as the PNP forms government, the economic hub will become a reality right here in Jamaica.
Ready to roll. Ready to build it up.
All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks. We keep in touch because this is one of the planks for growth of the Jamaican economy. Anthony Hilton, Member of Parliament and Shadow Minister of Trade and Global Logistics. Thank you, sir. So, we're ready, you know. We're ready to take on the labor rights them. We're ready to debate the labor rights them on the issues. As soon as you call the elections, we are ready to debate you on the plans, the manifesto. Now, many of you hear me all the while talking about the orange economy, culture and the creative industry. Is another plank that we're going to build the economy upon. So you hear about global logistics. And I am telling all entertainers, anybody we have anything to do with entertainment in Jamaica, culture and the creative industry is the same thing. Yeah? Culture and the creative industry is a bit broader than solely entertainment. But anything entertainment is a part of the culture and the creative industry. That is valued at $3 trillion annually. Like Sir Hilton said, you know, $27 trillion is what global logistics is valued annually. And if we get 1% of that, it's over $270 billion that annually. If we get 1% of the culture and the creative industry, it's $30 billion annually. And I hear Bobs, you know, I take up my argument them. Me listen, me watch them, you know. And as some know, say them a watch me. Because me hear Bobs Granger talk about building out sound stage in an entertainment zone. And me say that, hello? The plans that we have for entertainment zone is an holistic plan. Producer? It's a holistic plan we have for entertainment zone. What is? So, hold on there. So when me I tell you now, it is the People's National Party that have the plans to put money in Jamaicans' pocket. It is the PNP that have the plans, yeah, to create wealth in a Jamaica. Barber, hairdresser, chef, you're all creatives, designers, decor. So, and we are shovel ready. We know what to do. Chris, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Hello, Colin.
Yeah, man, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up a few points, you know.
Talk to me.
A few questions. Jamaica is known for a lot of limestone, am I right? Limestone.
Yes.
And limestone is used to make cement, am I right?
As well as other things.
Yeah. Yeah, limestone is used to make cement, and we have a lot of it. And based on the backside, which is basically the backside is basically and I use the word what word I use now? A life-saving machine.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what I would if I had the opportunity, I would shut down the backside company completely because Jamaica is not benefiting from the backside. From Manly, getting backside and getting,
Chris,
they're making the money from backside.
Chris, hold on. I want to say something to Joan Foster. Joan Foster said PNP wants to take the money and stop paying off the debt. Which PNP tell you that? No, PNP not tell you that. We want to pay the debt as it ought to. We are saying to people, if you owe the bank and the bank said pay me $50,000 a month, you can't pay $60,000 and you're picking them hungry. But that's not the text where I do want to respond to. Colin, you couldn't win your seat. PJ spent 18 years and mash up the place. Where was the outburst? Let me tell you something about my seat, Joan Foster. Jesus Christ came to earth and they crucified him. And when he was on the cross, and Pilate said to the people, as per custom, we would release one of the men who were supposed to put to death today. And the people chose Barabbas. You remember that, Joan? The people chose Barabbas. And I will say to you that the people, and I wouldn't even say the people, but the Laborites of the Fellowship Division chose nothing over a solid vision. Chris, sorry about that. Continue.
Yeah, I was saying the bauxite companies, and the bauxite is basically on life support. And normally I would have pulled the plug on the bauxite, and then those companies, one of those companies, then you could use one of the companies to manufacture a cement from the limestone and bring more competition to the cement market and the construction market.
So you
and also look to export also.
So you leave one dig down for your next dig down. Still digging down the country. Still digging down the island. So you left one dig down for one next dig down. I don't know.
Colin, put this way, Colin, we dig about that limestone to when you're making road, okay?
Yeah.
So those limestone could I use to manufacture cement?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying nothing.
And people build houses also dig about the limestone also. They can use it to state and make cement also.
Yes.
You know, and then bring a competition to the cement market where they bring the price down, and also can be also exported.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I look at it in the box side. You know what I mean?
All right,
you know?
brother. Me hear you.
I like actually about agriculture too. Agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to me about agriculture.
I've heard a lot of people talk about agriculture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only person I see speak about agriculture and do something about agriculture is Michael Manley.
Yeah, man. Michael Manley was a man before his time, you know. But the things that Michael Manley said then are still relevant now, because in any part of life, you have to try and feed yourself. You must feed yourself.
But the point I make, Colin, when Manley speak of agriculture, he also gives the small farmers the opportunity to be progressive. Because I can remember when I grew up, there was 2 tractors in my area, which was used to plow small farmers' land.
Yes.
No, these people talk about agriculture. No, they're not providing the small farmers with no tools.
Mm-hmm.
The small farmer cannot afford to hire a tractor to plow the farm. And I know back in the 70s and 80s, there were tractors running in my area. I can tell that where small farmers would have access to them and they could plow their property at a very low cost.
That's why Dr. Dayton Campbell said, under the next PNP administration, we are going to put in an agriculture development fund where farmers can get assistance, because Carla, in the developed countries, in the first world countries, they subsidize their farmers. Government ensure that farmers do well. Farmers get the assistance necessary. They don't get free fertilizer and sell it. Yeah? When you get a government that get fertilizer to get to the farmers and then take it and sell it. No. Even when you not get fertilizer, government supposed to ensure that the farmers get what they need. Because what we learned from COVID, you know, my brother, is that the imports can't stop coming anytime, you know. And right now, we are importing over $2 billion worth of food every year. The PNP has made a commitment that in the first term, we are going to cut that food importation bill by 25%. So right now, we're importing $2 billion. By the end of the first 4 years of a PNP government, that will go down to 1.5 billion. And we're going to carry it down again by another 500 million. Yeah?
All right, Colin. What I would like to see
final thing.
Is it going to bring in tillers? You know, tillers where the small farmers can have access to tillers. You know what I mean?
To
And
what?
also
What is
bringing
that?
tractors, so the farmers can have access to tractors.
Yeah, man, you said that already, you know. You talk about the tractors already. Definitely, that is something that we have to do. And we have to stop building.
And tillers.
And tillers,
tillers also.
right. Yeah, and that one of the things, we have to stop building on the horrible lands and ensure that the horrible lands are put into idle hands for farming. All right, my brother, we'll give somebody else a chance.
I agree with you. Okay, take care, mate.
Yeah, man. So, let me tell you something. Me are not Jesus, but I am living my life to be Christ-like. Yeah? And the division when me running under the earth. So, them choose evil over good. Them choose nothing over something. A lot of you would have heard my plans for the division. And I am sure, come here, Nats, you have never heard any plans from the person I run against. And that's why I'm saying to you all that in this upcoming election, we need to hear a debate or 5 debates between Isaac Buchanan and Anne-Marie Vaz. Them need for debate. We need to hear debate between Andrew Holness and Mark Golding, Julian Robinson and Fieval Williams, Dayton Campbell and Floyd Green, Damian Crawford and Dana. But Dana name again? Morris. We need to hear debates between Dr. Icklin and Babsy Grange. We need to hear debate between Chris Tufton and Dr. Alfred Dawes. Because we need to hear the plans. Let me tell you something. The Bible says what come out of your mouth that defiles your body. How are we going to hold you accountable when you never say nothing? Rubbish. You have never said anything. You not tell me nothing. How me I go hold you accountable? Because this government don't believe in accountability. The labor rights do not believe in accountability. I know business, and I am sure I can play you many tapes with the MP for East Portland talking. So nobody no can tell me about you're not talker. You can't represent people if you can't talk. I have seen blind represent people. People who are visually impaired represent people. Me never see a dumb man represent nobody yet. Hello, good evening.
Evening, Bob.
Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Wagwan.
I'm there.
Talk to me.
What comes out of your mind, out of your mouth, defile you.
Yeah, man, is what come out of your mouth. Me I go hold you accountable for.
Yeah. Like them say. If we stick to the evil where we know.
Me not stick to no evil. We shun the very appearance of evil. Somebody remind me yesterday that the anthem say, keep us free from evil powers.
And first.
And you're a man I come tell you plain, stick to the evil. Rubbish.
Rubbish.
Dash away. Dash away.
At least he might talk truth, man.
Well, he has been talking some truth from the other day, you know.
Hey.
He has been talking some truth. Because remember him say, you have parents in Jamaica, in the rural parts of Jamaica, who have more than one child. And them have to decide which one I pick they send to school and the rest stay home. And when we did say it, people say a lie we are tell. So.
And them say again, say, boy, the third term of it, we the poor people.
Oh,
after they use 2 terms and enrich themselves. So all along in that 2 term where them do already. No plan was for poor people.
No, it was for them. You're saying, I said the first water I meet in wash. So the man they make certain crepe for themselves then take 2 terms and take for themselves.
You know, see, not people, man, them every talk, now, you know, them put them foot in their mouth.
Oh God, man. What they are forgetting is that
then desperate.
what they are forgetting is that in this digital age, everything is recorded. Everything is recorded and it's been kept. You don't have to pack up 1,000 tape anymore. Back in the day when I used to run Channel 12 at Satcom, because I tell people, I am not a blogger nor a vlogger. And the fact that you see me here now, I do this from 1993. Long time me in a broadcasting. And when we used to run Satcom, all the walls around the studio that pack up with videotape and label. And you want to go back and find something, you have to go back and a search. No, you just type it in, yo. Gone. Digital age. No more analog politician. Warning them, brother. All right?
Them ship I think tell all Warmington now, no, don't get up. In Ghana, number goal in history, family history.
Yeah, but him no know film.
And I preach racism.
Yeah, Warmington is a dirty man, you know. You have to remember that, you know.
We say no to racism, man. We're not going back there.
Not going back there. Remember that brother that diss me.
You know?
You remember say Warmington diss me? Huh? Warmington call me chink, flea, and fly, brother. You never hear about it?
No.
Hold on, man. Now you never know say I meet happen to. You never hear about the man where Warmington come to Portland and tell say he must keep his interest in yard and how him now have councillor candidate no come on film tour like I did film tour after me a pay boy. Boy, I go tell me say him no want me pan in tour. Ring. Yes, man. I can't. If you stay tuned.
That clip there.
You remember that clip there?
Where my run the person and say, you know what, nobody.
Are you? Yes, man. I'm made a little crowbait at this man.
We're not no manners, man.
Boy, no manners, boy. I look on him boss. I'm me employee boy. I'm me pay boy. Yeah? And long mouth boy, after boy come to Portland, come see me. I go tell me, say me must keep me interest in me yard. I'm my yard this. But afraid of me, you know. Yeah, man, them see me. I travel and I say, because them say them a come to look on road, for fix road. So me say, well, them a road, they have the way them a road, bad, I'm glad them all fix. Me want to hear what go on. So me a drive and I check. Me no trouble them, you know. Me never say howdy to none of them. Me just a listen. Let me find it. See, me can't find, boy. Boy, diss me up. Diss me up big time, general. Call me chink, flea and fly. Yeah, man.
A bad message them I send, man.
Hold on, you're the boy.
Yes, but not you. You tour with the parish council.
So I am following.
No, you don't follow my tour. I'm a tour with this is the political tour.
Right, and it's a government, so I want to know what is happening.
That recognize. Hold on. Caretaker that recognize
I am a citizen of Jamaica. I want to know what is happening.
You hear me? Caretakers are not recognized in the Constitution of Jamaica.
I don't know about caretaker. I'm a citizen of this country, and I have interest in this.
Keep your interest to yourself.
No,
and your yard.
No, man.
Don't come on my interest. Don't come on my tour.
May I share my interests?
I don't need you here. You're with the member of parliament. That's enough.
Well, I am here.
You say consult with me?
I am here.
Me not tour with consult. Tour with the mayor.
I am here.
All right, tour with the mayor.
I am here.
So who invited you?
I am a citizen of this
Only
country.
chink, Duffy and fly when I'm invited.
Well, guess what? You know who you invite.
You hear the boy? You hear the boy deal with me? I'm me the boy I deal with, so you know?
The boy rank, man.
I'm me the boy I deal with, so.
He might be spanning himself, man, he rank.
No, this is a boy who sat in the parliament illegally, you know. This is a boy who scammed Jamaica money, you know. Sit down in the parliament illegally while he was a citizen of the United States of America. That boy they not pay back with money yet. The people of Old Harbour must send him a message. Little more, may I take a next call here?
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Good evening and welcome.
Hello, Colin, good evening.
Yes, sir.
I hear you asking anybody want to talk to you about the good performance and Ms. Vaz, you are inviting them to call.
Yes, please and thanks, because I am not aware of this. Somebody last night said if the people of East Portland vote her out, they would be ungrateful. Talk to me.
And I call to remind you of things Ms. Vaz have done in East Portland. And sad to say that your memory is not as good as before. So you're recognizing and remembering of a lot of things Ms. Vaz have done in East Portland.
Very well, sir. Please go ahead.
You remember the town of Port Antonio when rain drew the town of Port Antonio used to flood out and business people would have lost millions of dollars in goods and sales? You remember that?
All right. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Ms. Vaz has built any drain in Port Antonio since she has been a member of parliament?
We're not talking.
I am just
the drains in Port Antonio were blocked up for years.
Let me ask you another question. You remember a project that was done between 2012 and 2016 called the Sewage Drainage and Water Project?
I remember something like that we're supposed to do in the town of Port Antonio, yes.
Hold on. It was not supposed to be done. Let me refresh your memory.
Anyway,
no man, hold on. Hold on. You mentioned You mentioned drainage in the town and how the town used to flood out. So please allow me to tell you who fixed that problem. And it was not Miss Vaz. As you admitted, Miss Vaz don't build one drain since she come to Portland. Not one. So let me remind you that in hold on. In 2006, the sewage drainage and water project began in Portland to stop the leaks and to expand the drains in Port Antonio because the drains were too small for a growing town with a growing population, and to build a new sewage plant out of the east. When the GLP won in 2007, they stopped the project for the entire 4 years that they were in power. When the PNP got back to power under Portia Simpson Miller, a company by the name of Vinci, which is a Danish company, came to Port Antonio, rebuilt all the drains in Port Antonio to stop the flooding of Port Antonio. And also did the sewage project, the new sewage plant that out of Anchovy, that was built as well. Yeah?
Colin,
Talk
do
to
you
me.
remember the amount?
No, hold on. Before you remind me that, is that what I said, true or lie?
I am not in the position to tell you what you are saying is true or false.
Hold on. Are you from East Portland?
I am from Portland.
And you don't know about the project that I just spoke about that rebuild the drains in Port Antonio?
All right. I like to work with someone. Make I work with
No,
you.
me not ask you to work with. Me I deal with truth. So is either me I tell truth or you I tell lie?
Colin, I am granting you the favor that yes, you are. You remember that those same drains you are talking now were clogged up for years under your late member of parliament and Miss Vaz who go there with tractor and backhoe and people and clean all of those drains you are talking to prevent Port Antonio from flood out when rain set up. You don't have that.
What I
You
know.
don't remember that?
Then allow me to answer. What I know is that the drains are now being cleaned more often. But the drain...
Under Miss Bars,
hold on, man. Hold on, no.
under Miss Bars as MP.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Say that, no. Say, you admit it so far.
No, you
Admit
can't
that
tell me what to say. Obviously, you don't know this town. Because you are not willing to admit that the drains were rebuilt between 2012 and 2016. Who?
And I grant you the favor.
Don't
by
grant me
saying
no
I
favor.
can't.
I'm not begging no favor. If I am not speaking the truth, say it's not true. Because I am telling you, hold on. I am telling you that what you are saying is not true. Because since 2016, it is the Jamaica Labour Party that has been in government.
And
the drains completed just about 2015. They were completed. No, in fact, yeah, the drains were completed before we lost. But you know what?
Even
you break.
Were built. Even though those drains were built, they were not being cleaned.
But who was in government, brother? Who was the government?
I told you about the town of Port Antonio flooding out under Bloomfield and Denver Parliament. And since the past take over the town of Port Antonio, don't that easy again.
But
we gave her that
she can't get none of that. She cannot get that. That's not hers. You just admit that she not build one drain for and she come here. And the drains, hold on, the drains were completed in 2015. 2015.
I am not dispute. I am not.
Hold on. Who has been the mayor of Port Antonio since 2016? You have a PNP mayor in Port Antonio since 2016?
Colin,
just
please
answer the question.
You agree with me that the town of Port Antonio used to flood out? You agree with me?
Yes.
And you agree that the drains are being cleaned more often now?
Yes, because they were...
That is come to talk to you about. And you agree, so we could move on to your division in which you lost in the day.
Yes.
Your division, the fellowship division. Mm-hmm. Do you know that in the vice first election, that road leading to that bridge which can take you to Bellevue, and we can take you to by Ginger House. Do you know that that road leading to that bridge was one of the worst piece of road in Portland?
No.
Do you know that been bad?
No, hold on. No. Rubbish you attack. You attack rubbish. Let me tell you, let me help you. Because she did fix that piece of road. But that was not the worst piece of road in Portland, brother. You don't know nothing about Portland. You ever got me? Hold on. You ever got me know why you work with me, me want to talk truth. So she fixed the piece. Hold on now. Let me help you. She fixed the piece of road. In fact, before she fixed that piece, she fixed the piece from the bridge to a place named Kent. You know a name Kent? You know a name Kent?
No, I don't know.
So after she fixed Kent, then she start the piece that lead from Seaman's Valley to the bridge. She also fixed the road to Cornwall Barracks. She also fixed the road down in a Moortown. Now the one down in a Moortown for me is a bit different because the money to fix the road at Moortown came from TEF, Tourism Enhancement Fund. And that fund was put in place by PJ Pattison to fix places that go to tourist attraction. So she fixed that piece. But when me I said to your caller, I don't give politicians no marks for road. Road, water, and light are basic amenities. Those are not gifts from the politician. Those are their duty. Dr. Bloomfield fixed the road from Breastwork up to Moortown Crossing. That road was terrible. You didn't know that?
Colin.
I now give Bloomfield no kudos for that.
You gave the impression program every evening that Anne-Marie Vaz have not.
Where him gone?
No,
But Anne-Marie need to send somebody better than you and know a little more than you, because where you are telling me about drainage and Port Antonio, and Anne-Marie fix that. Hello?
Colin.
Hold the line
Do
for me.
you realize?
Hold on for me. Hold on. Hold the line for me. Hold the line for me. Let me see if I can get some help. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Colin, you see that man have a clue at that moment. I don't know about what man. Tell him to back make Admiral school him and tell him some more.
But that's why me think of somebody I call for help him, you know. Because he need help.
No, Colin, let me show you something, Colin. First of all, let me show you something them done. Road, light, and water. You don't praise politicians for them.
None at all.
None at all. You don't give politicians none at all. You don't give politicians no praise to them things because them things is when you vote electorate, when you vote for a president and put a member of parliament.
Yeah.
Road and water them as people where people need to get. Where you supposed when you know the party is civic duty as a member of parliament.
Yeah, man.
You're not supposed to go out and praise and say you're building road and jump on a robot, a carpet, and you know them things, man. I have never seen Sir Bloomfield come out and vote for a road yet. Me not put me there, and the man is far away from things.
But Bloomfield did the road from Breastwork up to Moortown Crossing.
I don't know that Peter stressed.
You understand? But when I'm gone, I never want him to go, man. I want him come back, get some help and come back.
And when they tell him about who, when they ask him who built the drain, him can't tell her who built the drain. Because I'm glad when they give me the cup, because me don't get the cup.
No, but you see, let me tell them something, you know. As me say a while ago, from 93, me a host talk show at Port Antonio. So the history and what happening at this town, I know it. So when you come to challenge me, make certain you don't have call one office of people. I don't have people stand up in there to try backing up. Because when you're going to talk about the drains.
Yeah, I know she built the drain.
But you know, you're
Jamaican contractor and get the job to build the drain in Portland.
It's Vinci, a Danish company. Come deal with it. But let me take our next call here.
All right.
Bless up. 876-804-7072. The labor right them need help. Call me and tell me what Anne-Marie Vaz do a Portland and our praise her. I am saying that she has done very little. Talk to me, caller.
Yes, Colin, good afternoon.
Blessings.
Yes, brethren. You said a brethren there, a rich man. I don't want to say where he come from. You don't know nothing about East Poland. You know see. You know see. I did Harry Douglas boy, you know.
Eh?
I wanted the one Harry Douglas boy, I a rich man.
Eh?
See what I mean? So I went Vaz win. Yes, I'm a Vaz, a friend. I went Portland.
Let me tell you something.
And you come around spokesman to JLP like you're a fool.
Oh, yeah? You see, when it comes to the history of Portland, I don't want nobody work with me. Is either me I tell truth, is either me I talk truth, or you tell lie. Tell me what it is.
The boy, man, boy, the guy school at Richmond secondary year, so they can't tell nothing about Portland.
I don't want your boy.
I
don't want your boy up. I call them like how me a boy up Warmington. I don't boy up Warmington because Warmington diss me. Warmington I collect me tax money and I disrespect me. That's why so I don't want your boy up my callers.
All right. We tell about that, man. But him not represent his Portland. Make somebody agree.
Yeah, man. Him need help, man. He can't manage this.
I'll query them.
All right, sir. Respect.
You know, but look here. 1 minute. Can you find out if Dennis Strong, if him Andrew one is accountant?
Me ask the question whether you may not get no answer. So we can ask the
Try
question.
Get some answer.
All right.
Try to get some answer. One more thing. You know what I would like to see the PNP do at all of them conference and meetings?
What?
Play the national pledge regular.
Yes, sir.
Especially when Mark goes. Talk.
Me like say it at the end of my speech. Me like say it at the end of my speech. Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart.
Yeah.
Yes, man. The wisdom and courage of my body.
when I'm going to the stage and I talk, the national pledge to play.
Yes. I will say it to you. I will say it to you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Respect, brethren.
Yeah, man. Caribbean Radio HD, good evening. Want to big up all the people on Caribbean Radio. Sister Danet, a long time. I see your sister Maxine, Sister Tanya, everybody in there. Yeah, me want more labor right for call. Me want more. Yes. Hold on, Carla. I want somebody from East Portland or Portland to call me and tell me about the Holy Power works where Anne-Marie Vaz do. Because me, I tell you no. Say me no see no works where Anne-Marie Vaz do from she come up Portland. Because me no give credit for road, light, and water. Those are the basic amenities that the government must provide for the people. Talk to me, Carla.
Yes, what's up?
Me there here.
Boy, I'm glad for see what you do for the Portland people them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Me live in New York, but me visit Jamaica all the time. I mean, see what the JLP them I do for Jamaica. Only thing them I do, I mash it up. The only thing Vaz and in Carousing do is the one place named Vindry, Little Lights. You know that lighting they have where they go around and give the lighting. That's the only thing he did do in Portland. I can call off. I don't see what Vaz and his wife is doing in Portland more than mashing up Portland and robbing Portland people.
All right, Carla, me hear you. Big up yourself. Thanks for the call.
Thanks. Big up yourself.
One love. Mr. Miller, over there at Caribbean Radio, Brother Gary, Sister Sharon, big up on yourself. What we talk is just the truth. It's only the truth me talk. And if you can beat that, then I give you victory. So I want to tell the people about Port Antonio. Port Antonio is a town that sits below sea level. Whole town with a Georgian architecture that is going down rapidly because it has not been maintained. The town of Port Antonio has not been maintained for years. Right now, Port Antonio is a stinking, dirty town. It's my town. And me can tell you, it is a stinking, dirty town that needs cleaning up right now. It used to flood easily when the rains fall. And a plan was put in place from PGA come up to Portia to develop the drainage network in Port Antonio. So a project was passed and confirmed. It was called the Sewage, Drainage, and Water Project. Three things: to improve water supply to the town of Port Antonio and its environs, to improve the drainage system, and to take the sewage from out of the town. Because people used to have pit latrine and them used to have the soaker where you pit them. And it was saying that some of that was sleeping into our harbors, into the sea. Hence, we need a sewage system to ensure that the buildings in the town, sewage is taken away. The project was signed off, I think, in 2005. And they started to deal with leakages for the pipes in 2006. When the PNP lost the election in 2007, the labor rights stopped the project. Nothing happened. It finished. Them stop it. That is the facts. When we regained government in 2012, Portia restart the project. All the drains in Port Antonio was rebuilt. A company called Vinci was doing the work. Dig up the whole of Port Antonio, rebuild the drains. So let me tell you something. The present MP has never built a drain in Port Antonio. Have nothing to do with it. So all is needed now is for the drains to be maintained. But remember when we said the drainage part of the project done 2015. The GLP formed government 2016. And they also have the council since 2016. So I must them to clean it now. So what am I talking about? You don't know nothing about this town. And that's why I'm telling you. Say, only power way out there, yap. But Miss Vaz, because you see her on social media. There is a persona on social media. But look at the things that you see she's doing. A road get paved here and a road get paved there. That's no lie. She gets some roads done. And in the division where me run as a councillor, a years the people have never seen asphalt on road. And she put on asphalt on the road. But is that it? Bloomfield put on some asphalt too. And I tell you no, if they never kill Bloomfield, she couldn't beat Bloomfield. And if it wasn't a by-election, she couldn't beat Damien. And fire that must steal now. Then think a cool breeze. I have never been able to ask this member of parliament any question about anything. How can I endorse a member of parliament that I can't ask nothing? If you don't want to give me an interview, go up on the next live. So we can send some questions that we can ask. Port Antonio needs sensible development. And maybe if I never me say deal with the East Harbor, maybe they would have listen. But anything with me say if you do them, try not do it. Because from 2023, me I say bring the school bus. And me say bring the school bus round here. And me, Colin Bell, say bring school bus for Portland people. And me say the children in town are being subsidized by my tax dollar for go school. And it is unfair. I want my children in Portland to get some of that subsidy that we are paying for the children in Kingston. And then carry all bus come put our picnic them in because they have defunded the JUTC. I'm telling you something, you know. Those are over TikTok. You have some little man jump on and yap. They don't know the history. They don't have the necessary knowledge. They are just over there spewing lies. And I hear the Prime Minister talk about it. But Prime Minister realize you're not giving any interview neither. How you can have parliamentarian and politician running away from the media? Make yourself available to us, Mr. Prime Minister. We have questions for you. I send a message to Darrell Vaz where they say me have some questions for you. And you know, respond. We want to ask you about the bus. Why we have a bus with 2 men have to drive? I tell some people this and I see them a laugh. It's not joke. The steering wheel up on the left-hand side. So them have to put a next man over the right-hand side because a pick need to carry and it have to be safe. And I understand why you have to put 2 drivers. But you could have did buy proper bus that is conducive. Look for any truck where you see that's the left-hand drive, if you don't see it right on the back. It have to right on the back because we drive on the left in Jamaica. And a left-hand drive vehicle is made to drive on the left. On the right, sorry. We drive on the left. The left-hand vehicle make for drive on the right. The right-hand vehicle make for drive on the left. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good evening, Mr. Bell. First time caller. You're doing
Thank you for
job.
calling, sir. Blessings.
I want to comment on Mr. Hilton. I saw somebody in the chat said Mr. Hilton sound lazy, but I can testify that the work that he's been putting in stem as far back as the early 2000s on the logistic ports from Panama start building out that canal.
Yes.
And it was passed to give Jamaica such a boost that we would have been in the ranks like Panama in terms of development. And Mr. Mike Henry, yes, we give him credit for trying to with a plan to develop Vernon Field. But if you can educate your callers about Goat Island,
yeah,
when the first argument came up with Goat Island to facilitate
the
the
logistics,
Panama, all of that, the
the
logistic
shipping.
coming off of the
Yeah.
Panama Canal.
Yes.
But that plan has been like the Highway 2000. From I was a child, far back as probably 8-year-old, I used to sit on a room bar and listen to my father and his friends and talking about the Highway 2000. Not the
Hold
highway.
on, the caller.
Highway
Hold on, caller. Mr. Somebody on TikTok say you don't get any view because you're a nobody. Yes, me know say I saw labor right look one way as nobody. That's why Warmington call me chink, flea and fly. Yes, uno arrogant and uno have no respect for people. So you style me as a nobody. Very well. Thanks for listening to the nobody. Continue, caller.
Yeah, but the laborers are pirates. Mr. Hilton talk about the pirates, and they are the pirates. All they do is sit around. They don't have any plan for the country.
No,
there's no plan and none at all. They don't have any plan to develop the country.
And then
we know that.
And then they run round and say PNP now have no plan.
And I have no plan. PNP are the people with the plan. They're the one that brought Jamaica to where it is. They're inherit the blessings of PNP when PNP give them with a purse where them could have loot and thief all of the money with them thief and set up all of them friends. For the hard work that PNP did with the infrastructures that was set in place for us to prosper out of it. So back to the port, Mr. Hilton is right. He is a man of calm peace. I used to go to his meeting in Washington, D.C. when I lived in D.C. when they were just talking about that plan for the logistic port to come in place. PNP, him right, and the JLP, them don't know what to do. So that's why them are behave and them can't touch that one. Like many more.
Yeah.
And one of the things we must focus on is brand Jamaica, what we can brand Jamaica. And I'll leave it as that.
Yes. All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks.
All right, man.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, man. Caribbean Radio HD. Sister Maxine. Boy, the time I fly away this evening. Done it. Big up on yourself, man. You see, this is where we speak truth and only truth. 876-804-7072. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, Colin, me get cut off earlier.
Yeah, me that try to get you back, yeah.
Yeah, but here you know. Believe this or not. I said Damian Crawford nearly could have get himself in trouble, you know.
What did that?
A woman refused to shake Andrew Wolnish's hand. Right?
That's
and he was trying to convince the woman to shake the Prime Minister's hand.
Yes.
A lady said to me that the lady was right. So, knowing Andrew Wolnish, suppose that woman did stretch her hand to Andrew Wolnish to shake his hand, and when she get back there and two of the finger gone.
Tell her. Not do that to my Prime Minister.
Who charge for aiding and abetting?
Tell her. Marshy. Behave yourself, Marshy.
You see?
Yes.
When you build up certain reputation, this is what can happen. Now, the lady of the blood of Rosa Parks run through her.
Yes.
There's a time you take a seat and there's a time you take a stand.
Hallelujah.
In this occasion, the woman have to keep her hand. She couldn't trust Andrew Wolnish with her hand because maybe when she get it back, 2 or 3 fingers gone.
No, man.
That's the behavior of our Prime Minister. We not trust him.
Maybe should I get back a hand of gold? Thank you, thank you, Marshy.
Just take care, sir. Take care.
Sure, man. Me tell us you can't call the program so much time, you know. What go on?
When they put Marshy call how much time and disrespect labor rights, you know, I'm telling you, call the program.
No, me said him never call so much time, but him did get cut off. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Forgot Marshy. Talk to me.
Marshy, disrespect the Prime Minister.
All right, sir. The lady could have get back a hand of gold. You know that means. Yeah.
You see the last about not talk about.
Yeah.
In a 2013 or 2014, Omar Davis did a finance minister.
No, Omar Davis was a finance minister at that time.
When am I talking about? Yeah, man.
No, man. Omar Davis ceased being finance minister from 2007. Hold on, Shawman. Hold on. 804-7072. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
It's a Colin.
Yeah, man. Hold on. I want me to finish with Shawman, but in gone.
Shawman, about the burn book. Your band center go open before election card.
Hold on. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Colin, you cut me off, man.
No, man, me never cut you off, man. Me tell you for hold on. I was just like how me tell this man for hold. Are you hung up, man? Where you say now? You come back.
Yes. I was just before I go any further. Why you can't tell your pain in the room that they must show a little more decency to people who come on the program and don't try to personally abuse and attack. Anyway, Port Antonio, you realize that a cruise ship from the Port Antonio a few months ago after missing fight.
Come take this 2 minutes. Well, let me tell you something about that cruise ship. The cruise ship have nothing to do with the member of parliament. Absolutely nothing. Zero.
Anyway, I want to talk to you another time on the guilty government and their performance. And based on what you have been saying on your program, that this government is the most corrupt and they haven't really done anything. I know they take up $11 billion giveaway in 2020,000 to needy Jamaican.
Hold on. No, don't go. Who do you classify as a needy Jamaican? Yeah, go ahead. Who do you classify as?
The culture is people who would have said minimum wage going down because you can't survive. In no country you don't really survive after minimum wage.
So you call needy Jamaicans people who earn minimum wage, right?
And lower. And
lower. Yeah. All right. Who was the $20,000 given to?
The $20,000 would have, because you're talking about 11. You're talking about $11 billion.
$11.4 billion. Who was it given to?
It have given to a wide range of Dominicans.
No.
People who earn more minimum wage would have qualified for the $20,000 because they. Hello?
Mr. Sir.
Nephew, I talk to you.
Nephew.
I know you well enough.
Hold on. The minimum, the $20,000 was given to people who are earning below $3 million.
Right,
no, hold on. No minimum wage earner never get none.
Yes, man. Yes. Minimum wage earners get pensioners get it, unemployed people get it.
All right. Hold on. So the $20,000.
Yeah.
You are saying it was well spent.
It must be well spent because money put in the pocket of the Jamaican.
So that $20,000, would you agree with me that it went towards consumption? Buying flour and chicken back and bread and...
Yes, it's not going to pay.
All right. So hear me now, nephew. Don't you think it would be better if we found 200 farmers who are small farmers and give them $200 million each in a small loan?
You don't even the Minister of Agriculture budget presentation telling the country how much money this government are putting agriculture for small farmers.
Brother, where is the agriculture sector now? Are you aware that the agriculture sector is down by 12%?
Remember, we just get a hit last year from a hurricane.
So, nephew, are you aware that Grenada got a hit last year, but their economy grew by over 3%?
Colin,
Colin, I know you level of badness.
Get up when you get up, never when you get a good line, you call me where we can talk, man. Because me want butter you, you know. All right. When you get a good line, man. When you get a good line.
My brother.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Hello, Colin.
Yes, sir.
Neville is one of nationwide most favorite. He's one of nationwide son.
Yeah, man. But when Neville go over there, he get lollipop bowling.
No, it's not lollipop bowling. Neville is a host of nationwide.
Oh, he is a host for nationwide.
No, when I say he's a host, I mean to say that he's a famous JLP surrogate persons who just there's nothing that comes out of his mouth that is objective.
No, man, he's a GLP activist. You know, I have no problem. You see a man like Neville, where now I do him them, I have no problem with him, you know. Me like reason with them, man.
No, let me tell you something, Colin. And these are the things where sometimes we stay away from. As I always say to you, only a fool believes in his own folly.
Oh, yes.
There are some persons you cannot convince. Even when them to the truth in them fear, it doesn't make sense to try to tell them that this is so. No, you are $1 million given away. So persons who work under $3 million, no low income person in poverty or anything, a minimum wage get those money. He doesn't want to believe. You tell him to the economy.
No, hold on, Carla, hold on. He might be right. Some people who earn just a little bit above minimum wage or minimum wage did get, yeah. Once you earn under $3 million, you will be eligible to get. So yes, he's correct about people who earn minimum wage get some height.
But I see where you're going because you're going to give away $20,000 where you could put it somewhere else because that's a one-time thing. It's right. Food and all.
And that's why I say that this government invests in consumption, but not production. That $11.4 billion could have been used to ramp up the agriculture sector and cut Jamaica's food importation bill. They had a great opportunity to start production because nobody need a beg for no $20,000.
Okay. It's like this. They are giving a fish. It's the teacher man of the fish.
Yes.
That's it because at the end of the day, when you give a man a fish, it's done 1 year. But if you teach a man a fish, it's a lifetime.
Yes.
And this is the problem that me have. When you look at the sector, 10 out of the 12 sector has been declined. Have you seen women? I listen to that. Have you seen the projection? When the minister has been telling the economy is going to grow by 1% each year. What that matter is, why is it that these soldiers doesn't come and show us what the JLP, how they are going to grow the economy? Up to now, we don't hear them come with a plan now.
They're not a plan to grow no economy, brother. Remember them in a power, you know. And they have not been able to grow this economy, not even by 2%. You understand?
How the economy is doing good and the plan? How the economy is good? Yes, I don't understand it. The economy is so good to the JLP, but yes, all the sectors, the manufacturing sector, every sector is down.
But right now, all the large businesses in Jamaica are raking in less profit than they did last year. This time.
So the private sector and Jamaicans and object Jamaicans, they understand that do not see it, and these soldiers do not see where they are going. I want to ask themselves how they are spending their money. It seems that these people are rich. All the guilty surrogates are a very rich person.
Not rich. Them not rich, them just a defending party. But me could talk again here.
All right, cool.
Big up yourself over Grand Cayman there. Want to thank the people in the chat room at Caribbean Radio for tuning in to us this evening for yet another Tuesday evening where we hit with the truth. And we know the truth hurt. We know that the truth is an offense. But let me tell you something. That is what we hammer out here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Tuesdays we are on from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Jamaica time, 5 to 7 drive time in the US. And on Saturday morning, we are on Portland Spice TV from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday morning. So if you have not yet subscribed to Portland Spice TV, please subscribe to Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Like the channel, share the channel, click the notification bell. That's when we are on, you're on. Thanks to the team over there at Caribbean Radio. Patricia, Maxine, Melrose out of Mobile. Everybody big up on yourself. Yes, Carla, go ahead.
How you doing?
Hey, well, go on, Junior. I'm there.
Yeah, man. They still have my hotel in a Port Antonio by the name of the Monteville.
The Monteville Lodge, yes. History that, you know, brother. History.
Okay. That was a hotel where we used to stay when I was a young boy coming in your town, you know.
I hear you, my boss. When he was a young boy in your prime.
Yeah, man. They had some reconstruction at that hotel years ago.
Yes.
And when the reconstruction was done, the front part of Port Antonio was renovated. That road beside the way the Shell gas station was,
yes,
where you can drive around the Monteville, that road was closed.
Oh.
And they were developing the whole of the front of the town.
So that,
and then
that
the marina
area
was built.
That area is called Titchfield Hill.
Right.
Yes.
Then the marina was built.
At a tune of over 27 million US dollars. Mega yacht marina.
When I heard that man talking earlier, I wonder what he's talking about. Because the Port Antonio had tourism and they moved the tourism from Port Antonio and carried to Ocho Rios.
They didn't just move it, my brother. Eddie Siaga borrowed $30 million to build a place in Ocho Rios called Enchanted Gardens. And that is right. And that's how they built up Ocho Rios and disrespect Port Antonio. Tell lies, say we have crocodile in a Grande so that them can move the rafting from the Rio Grande, my brother. And then tourism in Port Antonio start run down. So Nevio, what we get now is every now and again we get a boutique ship in Port Antonio. We don't have no regular cruise ship coming to Port Antonio. And those boutique ship, them come here every year. Them are come here before Miss Vaz there. So she don't have nothing to do with that ship. In fact, the last one to come here was brought here by Choca Tours. Yeah? A tour company car ship come at Port Antonio. Now have nothing to do with the MP.
I remind you of something too. When the Boston Jerk Festival started, you know.
Yeah, in 2000.
I was one of the few persons that would leave from Montego Bay with all the group and go, you know.
The Jerk Festival started in the year 2000 by the tourist board. They put on the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What you talking about that we used to leave from Mobile, you know, and go to Port Antonio normally on a long weekend.
Okay, beautiful.
So we knew a lot of persons at Boston. We know everybody at the bar at Dragon Bay. We know people who used to work over by Trident.
Yes.
We know people who live at Anchovy. It was so popular in the area, you know.
I hear you, my boss. You run the place.
Yeah, man, we used to enjoy. We said, even though by the palace, the man showed me out already, you know. The palace?
Yeah.
Where you pass Anchovy?
Yeah, man.
I'm going down. Yeah.
Man. Mr. Farmy, show you out.
Show me out. You go there, take picture. Yeah, man.
All right.
But, you know, we need to deal with the tourism thing down there again.
And that's why I've been saying to them that we don't need a urban center right now. We don't need it. What we need is the East Harbor development so the big cruise ships can come into that harbor. They can't come in at the East Harbor. So we need to develop, they can't come in at the West Harbor, sorry. So we need to develop the East Harbor, that the big cruise ship with 5,000 and 4,000 guests can come to Port Antonio, that the Juta men can live again, the bars can run again, the attractions can earn money again, raftsmen in Berrydale can see their future again. That is what we are talking about. Moortown can achieve its true potential. The World Heritage Site, Blue and Drancro Mountain, can get hikers off the ship. We have the most natural attraction as any one parish in Jamaica, and it is the labor rights them when it mash up tourism. And I am saying we know have $4 billion now. Call Royal Caribbean, our Carnival Cruise Line, our Disney, and say we have $4 billion. Come match it, make we fix up the East Harbour and turn up the thing in a Port Antonio again.
Oh, Colin, when you're trying to explain that to somebody with them brain is petite, you have a problem, you know.
Well,
you realize?
God give me the strength to continue pounding it in
Yeah,
the
man,
middle,
because when you're explaining to the man, he can't pick up. He start to tell you that you were in power 30 years ago and why you never do it.
You understand? Instead, the Prime Minister said I'm the best baby father for ideas. They need to tell the Prime Minister what me I say. I make the Prime Minister look into it.
I used to believe that the Prime Minister care have a bigger review mirror. But I realize what is the Prime Minister's problem. You know when you have that woman back in the 90s, I know it's 2025 when you're talking about that woman.
Yeah.
That's how Andrew is. In talking about the past. Him not reach the present yet, you know.
Tala.
That's why him don't even realize what is going on in the world.
Yes.
Because he's still way back in the 90s. He not come out of that era yet.
Brandon Webb is saying we used to get 3 and sometimes 4 cruise ships per week in Port Antonio. Yeah. And that's how we did that. 3 and 4 a week. Sometimes we have 2 a day. Plus the banana ship. So we need to bring back Port Antonio. That's what we're talking about. And that's why we are saying that there must be debates with these candidates who want to represent us. We must hear their plans and how they are planning to execute them and what role we as the people of Port Antonio are going to be playing in those plans. Stop make people lead like on our blind.
You know, Port Antonio in those days, right?
Yeah.
Had an economy that was strong enough.
Of course, so you mean?
Let me tell you something. I used to sell, and I know this country quite well. You see people in the grill, they don't beg you now. Because they have something to sell.
Yeah.
They don't beg. You see people in Port Antonio, they never beg you now. Where you coming now?
Yeah.
With nothing to sell, they don't beg you now.
Them give you something.
Them ask you what you're, they ask you what you're selling.
Yeah.
So when you see a change, you realize that what I say. Look at what the Minister of Education is saying now about what happened at Pembroke. 200 students functionally literate.
Tell her. Jesus. At one school.
Colin, when you hear that, what you say to yourself, tell me.
Trouble there. That not safe.
You know what I say? The government policy is working.
Keep them done.
The government policy is working.
Keep them done, sir.
Anyway, Colin.
Big up yourself.
We talk. All right, take it easy. Cool.
876-804-7072. Colin, which when they were doing development in Portland, they had considered the landscape. The natural beauty of Portland doesn't need all the mess of concrete. They need to consider different design. So, one of the things that we are talking about in Portland is sustainable development. Now, when I see people are calling me from unknown number, I see trouble, you know. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
I'm just, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
What is the issue you have with the JLP and Andrew Holness?
Them a mash up Jamaica. The country is not growing.
Mashing up Jamaica, how?
The country is not growing. The economy of the country is stagnant. In fact, the economy is in a recession right now. And what we have is people getting low
The
paid.
economy is not in a recession. We grew last. We grew in January to March.
What was the percentage growth? What was the growth? Hello? Come back and tell me the growth. We grew in, she said we grew in January. What percentage? The PIOJ, which is not the authority or not the agency who gives us the figure on growth, said that we grow by 0.8%. Now, 0.8% of anything is nothing. It's just that growth of 0.8% in Jamaica. What are you talking about? Chris, wagwan, brother.
Colin.
Medea, sir, wagwan.
Good evening, Colin.
Blessings,
I
man.
want to touch on two topics before I come off. First of all, that lady must understand one thing. The JLP, them are thief. Let me shorten it up here. They are enrichers, embezzlers. They are crooked. Okay? I will stop defending the economy. The economy is the economy, but we cannot grow the economy if we have thief in the house. Them coming like termites.
Yeah, me dong.
Who are them out? But Colin, let me touch on one of the things. I came to Portland about 5 years ago, and I went to dinner at the marina.
Yeah.
And Colin, I've lived all over the world.
Yes.
Mostly. And traveled. I've traveled. And when I saw that marina, I said, what a waste. Because when you go out in front of the marina, it looked like a dump. And people who have yachts that sail around the world, they don't like to see rot and garbage.
No, not at all.
You know, they want to see, when them step off of them boat, they want to have elegance.
Because
somewhere clean.
What you have to remember is that the people who own these yachts are people who are millionaires.
Yes.
Proper
yes,
money
Colin,
them have.
and look, Colin, you travel and you know I'm sure you're going to the rest of the Caribbean.
Yes,
How
man.
can it be Antigua, Barbados, and all these small islands have far superior? They are known as St. Vincent, are known as ports for yachts.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Bill Gates and all them people, them yacht down in a St. Vincent and them place, and we have far more to offer. And yet still you start a thing like a marina that quality, and you let it run down first of all. And then outside of the town is, as you say, smelly and the key. What kind of craziness is that? So why build a marina in the first place if you're not going to expand the whole scope of what you're selling?
Let me tell you something, Chris. Leadership is critical to the growth of Port Antonio and Portland. Portland needs leadership with vision and people who have a passion for the area. Because Portland is somewhere that you're going to have to take care of it like a baby. Yeah?
Right.
Because you have to deal with sustainable development. The environment has to be maintained and protected.
Colin, you know, one of my biggest fear is that they do to Portland what they did to Ocho-Rios. I grew up in Ocho-Rios, and I don't even stay in Ocho-Rios anymore.
And we have to
every time I go there, I'm aggrieved by what they have done to Ocho-Rios. Because apart from where the ships come in, the rest of Ocho have been allowed to decay. The town is it look like Spanish town.
Yeah, man.
It's a disgrace, Colin. It's a disgrace, and I hope that they don't turn Portland into what they did to Ocho-Rios, because that would be a damn shame.
But you see, it might possibly happen because they are hell-bent on building this urban center, putting down a whole heap of concrete down Bryans Bay. And the world is moving away from that kind of development, you know. Because if you realize, if you're in America, you realize a lot of stores are closing down. People don't go store again, go buy clothes and shoes. That are cut out fast, right? A lot of the areas, Montego Bay, Ocho-Rios, are a bit played out. And Port Antonio, with its lush green environment, natural attractions, is the next frontier. And that's why I'm saying to the people, help us to accommodate the larger cruise ships so that we can now bring visitors to get this natural environment, to tour the Blue and Drunkro Mountain, which has been designated World Heritage Site with medicinal herbs, with the flora, the fauna, the birds, the swallowtail butterfly. We have so much that nowhere else have. Yeah? And we are not capitalizing on it. We have the history of the Maroon. We need to develop a Maroon village in Moortown. We need to put the war between the Maroon and the English on film. There are so many things that we need to do in Port Antonio. But then we are take hype over substance.
Yes, sir. You have said it all, Colin. The charm of Port Antonio is already there. It's a low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
All you have to do is embellish it. Embellish it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to come in with a bulldozer and turn it into an urban center like you did in Utrecht. None of that is necessary.
Build the reggae park over Navy Island. Build the reggae park over Navy Island that will bring thousands of visitors to Port Antonio. I mean, in Hollywood, you have the Walk of Fame where each artist have a star. We can do something different in Jamaica where reggae have its own island and each top artist get a statue on the island. Digitize the statue where you go there and you download content of that star, of that artist from the statue. So you leave with digital memorabilia. Something different.
But you know, Colin, I'm gonna be in Portland in January for a birthday party, and it's 60 people coming, and we had to scramble to
find rooms,
accommodation.
Yeah, we don't have no whole rooms.
So,
and then you have some people that tell me, say, Portland don't need no big hotel. We need 4 large hotel, not the mega ones. We need 4 hotels with a 500, 600 room there to grow
Colin,
the place. And we have the places to put them.
Colin, I went to Frenchman Cove one time. It was the most beautiful property I've ever come across. I was talking about that property to my friends here for years.
You know, that's the first all-inclusive hotel in the world.
I didn't know that.
Frenchman's Cove.
I didn't know that.
In Port Antonio.
It's a beautiful property.
Yeah, man,
beautiful property. I mean, you could easily put a nice golf course in there, a 9-hole golf course.
A golf course was across the road from Frenchman's Cove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so Portland have so much to offer, but
blind
can't lead.
No, but you see,
that's all I have.
The people also have to decide to choose Jesus and not choose Barabbas. And so far, we have seen where the people of Portland has been choosing Barabbas over Jesus. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
Colin, you have a situation, Colin, where one can't count and one can't read. So what can I say?
Tala. Little
All
more.
right, Colin.
Blessings, Chris. Yeah, man. 16 minutes after 6 o'clock in Jamaica, 16 minutes after 7, some places in the US, after 12 in the UK. We're taking your calls on 876-804-7072. Yeah, man. You see, we come on because Port Antonio and Portland is the love of my life. Hello, good evening.
Yes, hello, Colin.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm calling from California. I'm doing some work, so I'm not gonna stay along with you. But
I wanna mash up the place. So over Cali, we wanna mash up the place.
Well, I'm close enough, but not close enough to mash it up,
All right.
So watch where I'm going.
Yeah, watch them. All right, my brother. Talk to me.
Man. Yeah, so we have the protest we're going this morning, at Jamaica there.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the other one we're going the other day. And, me have a comment on it. It's going to be adverse. You probably not going to like it, but...
Say your thing, man.
Me not really like what me say. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because me feel like the PMP is kind of hijacking the message, right?
The message.
When me...
Okay.
Yeah, because when me look out there now, me see a sea of orange, right? And I know it's a protest put on by PMP, but we want we want to go out there as Jamaican.
I hear you.
Sometimes we have to put aside with orange and with green shirt, just for the sake of the message, because what we are trying to bring about is public shame, and sometimes we want the international media to pick it up.
Yeah, and you don't want people who are not politically affiliated to come out as well.
Yes, because 60+% are Jamaican and really like PNP and like JLP.
That is true.
At least they have shown that in the last two election
I would
cycles.
put it
That's
different.
enough data.
I would put it different. I'm not saying that they don't like PNP and they don't like GLP, but they don't vote for PNP or GLP.
Yes. So is who's gonna command a bigger chunk that is gonna win the election?
Yeah.
You understand? So don't hijack your own message because I agree with the message. It's just that you can't you have to come as Jamaican.
Don't segregate.
And the message shouldn't be like me and my comrades. Yes, comrades are out there.
Hold on, caller. Hold on. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. I'm back.
You're back. Yes, so I was asking you, or the caller gone. I was asking you what percentage did the economy grow by in the first quarter of 2025?
We grew by 0.8%, and any growth is growth.
Or any growth is growth, even if it's minimal.
Yes, even if it's minimal, I'm sure countries who don't have growth would welcome it.
Do you remember that we were promised 5% growth in 4 years? You remember that?
That's years ago, and we had COVID.
But we were promised.
We're now growing, and we're on a path that is stronger.
Carla, hold on. We were promised that in 2016. And from 2016, the government has not been able to grow the economy by 2%. They have never even gotten to 2%. Up to 2019, they never get to 2%.
So we're moving forward on a new growth strategy.
No,
once we get the third term, things will escalate.
We're not moving forward. Remember, the Prime Minister said we need to pivot, What pivot mean?
But we're pivoting.
No, we're not, because we are not showing. Because remember also that the PIOJ is not the authority to tell us about growth. We have to wait for statin to come tell us if the economy really grew.
And statin normally comes with a higher growth. So I'm sure that when statin comes, we'll be growing over 1%.
Statin normally come with what?
Statin normally comes with a higher growth rate.
No, sometimes they come with less. But let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. The Jamaican economy, you say it's growing.
Growing and stronger.
You say it's growing and it is stronger.
Of course.
Why is it that major companies in Jamaica are showing less profit and some of them are even losing?
Because they have poor leadership, full stop.
So the companies have poor leadership. So why is it then that the government has to be taking money from the Bank of Jamaica to shore up the Jamaican dollar 2 and 3 times a week?
Is that accurate?
What I can tell you is that from April 2024 to April 2025, the Bank of Jamaica spent $1.1 billion trying to keep the Jamaican dollar from going above 160 to 1.
Well, I have my faith and trust in Andrew Holness and Favor Williams.
But I have another question for you.
Before you move, I just want to let you know that the international forensic expert that the IC hired found nothing wrong with Mr. Holness' statutory declaration.
No, I did not know that. Tell me more.
Of course, so we found it, and he's clean as a whistle. And he didn't have 28 bank accounts.
Oh, the Prime Minister didn't have 28 bank accounts?
No, not at all.
So you are saying that the Integrity
Commission... So the IC will have to come before Parliament to answer questions about who contracted them to go after the Prime Minister.
Hold on. So you are saying...
And just for your information as well, the DPP is preparing a massive file with persons who are doing malicious communication against the Prime Minister. Have a wonderful evening.
How you know? Hold on. How you know why in the report from the international auditing firm? She gone. Hey. Kuya! Tell her. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, go on.
Me there, man.
Yeah, all right. The lady the way I talk right now, Me don't know what she try to say, but
Turn off the instrument in your background because she don't talk long time. There's a delay. So you have to stop listening to where I listen to and just talk to me through the phone.
all right. Yeah, man. Yeah, me I say that lady there, she talk like say, you know, have a clue about right?
Mm-hmm.
And this are the worst Jamaica ever been. Up to Ray Charles can't see that.
And Stevie Wonder.
Me not understand what she a come with.
Brother, you have some people who support the Jamaica Labour Party and you can't tell them nothing. All when you show them the facts, them can't see it.
Me is a straight socialist. And if my party behave like how this JLP party behave, nobody can hear me. I defend them.
You're mad, man.
Or come on a public platform unless I cost me them.
Yeah, man.
Because me believe in a youth and elder people in my country.
Yes.
And if things now go right for them, me have a problem with that.
Must.
So what may I say?
Yes, sir.
So we have a problem right there with the people them who can't see a S as a S and call it out.
That is right.
And I wonder if Andrew Science depend them that much that they're blind. Because I will be a man, you know, in love them something there, you know.
Eh?
Oh, you mean, they don't see all the while the whole party of them in a voodoo business and candle and where. You want glasses, you say, shut up. All right.
Dollar.
You don't want no glasses, you see that. You see what the people their mind there and what them believe into. And it's crystal clear to the world. All right. The next gentleman we call now about the orange wave and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you understand, say, you can't tell people what to wear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he look at him say the official them in a PMP? Him
No.
see them in an orange?
Right, that's true. That's true. The
Well,
Baden
I said, so
Campbell,
you need to
the
look.
Peter
You must say-
Bunting, the Mark Goldings, they did not have on any colors.
All right.
But the
So him
support,
just
yeah.
got- So I don't understand where I come from. You can't tell people what to wear. If an announcement, I can say, all right, we have a demonstration and me a social. I'm going to put on my color. Nobody can stop me.
Yeah. So if you want to come in your blue and in your white, you're welcome.
Right. So when come with no make no sense to me. I'm going to open my ear this. It don't make no sense.
All right, sir.
All right.
Big
Big
up
up
more.
yourself.
Yeah, man. 876-804-7072. This is the final call for the evening. Talk to me, caller.
Good afternoon, Sir Colin.
Blessings, man. One love.
I want to ask a question. Does the GLP surrogates have a platform like you guys?
Yeah, man. Them have a platform, but we can't
So
go
why?
there.
So is it that their message is not reaching to their audience? Why they have to come on this kind of platform? Them
No,
come on
it's-
Andre, them come on
No,
Conrad,
but
them
it's
come
good.
on your platform. Is there a reason why?
It's
Is
good.
it so
No.
educational that
But
you
it's-
guys reaching?
What they are doing, they are trying to disrupt the flow, right? And if they can get to come over here or over Andre or over Obi and spew them lies, and one or two persons might believe, then them think them can get away with it because we can't go up on for them platform, you know. If we ever try go up on for them platform or then deal with it, you understand what I say? Because I go on one of them TikTok show one evening, and after I lay out some facts, a young lady came on after me, and nothing what me say. Now I've nothing to do with it. All she was doing was attacking me. Tell me how I couldn't win my seat at Portland, and how PNP no want you. And she was just attacking me. So I was saying to the host, if she can't talk about the arguments, then me not gonna really stay and allow nobody to attack my personality or me in person. You understand? Because we're having a discussion. Some facts were laid on the table. If the facts are too heavy for you, just give up. But you come attack me and tell me who never want me and who dash me away and me fi go away.
Yeah, because look here, this lady is so ignorant, right? She's so fear because you said to us, the persons, the manufacturers who are losing business, the Grace Kennedy, the Omar Azan, and these people. Are you telling me that when they were successful, they were good leaders? Now that they are losing, they are not good leaders?
Then that she said, man, you know,
The Jamaica boilers, So, and we said the e-com is going 0.8. Now you tell me that last year, didn't in one quarter it lose by 3.5 and then 1.8.
No, the third quarter, the third quarter we went down. We went down by 3.5, and the fourth quarter we went down by, I think, a 0.8.
So even if we get a 0.8 in one quarter, does it signify that it's like
that's stagnation? That's
it's coming like the crime. It's coming like the crime rate. They are taking the crime rate statistics year by year. Last year we're doing better, so them say the crime is down because they are doing better than last year. Now you get 0.8 in one quarter. You get just give out the benefit of the doubt. You get 0.8 in one quarter. What about the rest of 2 quarters where you get 3.5 and 1.8 of negative growth? How does that matriculate to have the economy going? When you have remittances down right now, the agriculture is down. Every sector, at least 10 out of the 12 sector is down.
Yeah,
the banking still not dropping their rate. The Bank of Jamaica, do you know that unofficially, the Jamaican dollar is about 170 to maybe 180 if the Bank of Jamaica not putting so much money every week into the economy.
90 million US dollars, 90 million going to defend the dollars. And right now, the NIR is down by 50 million, you know.
Because them keep taking out money and do all these things. Yeah. And them don't realize that it's like the economy is on life support, but because the resilience of the Jamaican people, they are not seeing. It's like it's like Andrew have them blind, but you won't change. I said to you, you can't change these persons who have them own belief, who just see that the sky is green even when it's blue outside.
All right.
So I always wonder, what about their platform? Isn't that they can formulate a good platform like yourself and make it message reach?
No, but here the thing is, truth, you see truth and the GLP not have no Latin part. Andrew Holness come out and him tell us every time PNP get in power, we mash up the economy. And the truth,
exactly.
But if you look at the truth, in 1970, Jamaica's debt to GDP was at 60%. That's 1979, sorry. 1979, Jamaica's debt to GDP was at 60%. Edward Seaga win in 1980. And by 1989, the debt to GDP went to 263%. Them not talk about that. When the PNP gained power.
And watch it. They talking about FinSac, and yet still none of them don't want to come out and publish the FinSac report, because I am sure that if it was against the PNP, it would be all over nationwide, all over the world, everywhere and all of that. And them don't realize it. Let me tell you something. Can't never know the use until it chop off now. It's like say them want to see the economy go way down and PNP take it and them say a PNP cause it because them didn't have power for 1 year.
Yeah, man. But we are going to audit the thing and make everybody know what the thing there. Thank you, my brother.
Blessings.
Listeners and viewers to Portland Spice TV, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we invite you to please subscribe to the channel, become a Portland Spice TV ambassador, share the channel with your contacts, make them know that we are on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, giving the truth and nothing but the truth, so help us God. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you all. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace, now and forevermore. Until we meet again Saturday morning, subscribe, like, share the channel. One love, my people.